Welcome to the full Viego jungle guide. Now, first of all, Viego is an absolute 1v9 extremely dominant Giga Chat solo carry. And if you're sick of having inting teammates and you want to be responsible, I recommend to pick him up. Now, in today's video, here we have not only the itemization, how you should play the Viego, tips and tricks, but also which kind of combos you should use. I even have a gameplay showcase as well later on. I will have everything in the timestamps, and I will also have a review on how to play Viego from my coaching perspective. Now enjoy the video, make sure to like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments what you want to see next, and have fun.
My blade is yours.
Alright, starting off with the runes and item build. Now for the runes we have here Conqueror. Of course you're gonna stack it very quickly. You're gonna see that later on in the combo section. You have Triumph, of course you play with resets. You're gonna get a lot of Triumph value in general. This rune is one of the most valuable runes in the entire game. Same with Conqueror. Alacrity, you play with attack speed. Your Q animation gets faster. You will learn about that later on also. And Coup de Grace, you play with resets again. Like all these runes are basically made for Viego. It's straight up perfection. Technically speaking, cut down and last stand instead of Coup de Grace. It's interesting, but this is by far the best rune page. Now Hail of Blades is also interesting for like combos with one-shot possibilities, but trust me, Conqueror is always the best. For the secondary, of course, again, Domination is interesting, but Boots and Cosmic Insight has by far the highest gold value. You don't want to buy Boots, you want to focus on first item. Once you have your first item, you have instantly an insane power spike, so you don't want to invest any gold into Boots. That's again why you want to have magical footwear. For the item build, you always either go Kraken Slayer or Triforce. This is the best always. Now in some games you can say, yeah, enemies are giga tanky, we have to go Blade of the Rune King. Yeah, it's extremely rare, and I will always with my heart tell you what I would recommend you to do if there's a bet on you to climb. Basically means I want you to succeed. And I'm not gonna bullshit around saying, yeah, Blade of the Rune King sometimes is good. No, Kraken Slayer or Trinity. I think that Kraken Slayer is better in most games, almost always. Trinity is extremely good if you can proc the Sheen effect very often. Means you play against a team comp where you can proc it often. But I think that also when I play in Korea, that I'm going to spam Kraken Slayer. Now, it doesn't matter, it will lead to the exact same, but it's always one of those two. We start with Kraken Slayer now. As secondary item, it is always Collector. A lot of people, like I would just say Drutut, I think Perry as well, are saying, yeah, you shouldn't buy Collector second. Wrong. They say, yeah, you should go LDR, technically speaking more. No, it is wrong. Collector is by far, I'm gonna calm down a bit, it is the best secondary item, okay? You can trust me, and I'm gonna showcase through my performance. You will view that also when I play in Korea. Through my performance, you will see why you should go Collector secondary. Important on that is your damage executes champions that are below 5% health. That is so valuable for your smite, your Q, to not do the last auto attack, to then pick up the corpse to possess the champion immediately. Don't think about it too much in depth. What you should do in general is just copy pasta what the best Viego players are doing. That's how I also improve. That's how everyone improves. We try to review. That's what we get to later. With the timestamp, you can check that out as well. Now, as third, Shield Bow has the highest win rate as third. Of course, GA, death stance, itemization in general. The deeper we go into it, the more it gets situational. In some games we go GA, some death stance, maybe even Witsend, maybe QSS, more of Malmurches, whatever it is, right? It doesn't really matter. Fact for you is in most games it is Shield Bow or LDR. When I'm extremely giga fed and confident that they cannot one-shot me, burst me or anything, I don't need the shield, I go LDR third. And if I'm scared, I go Shield Ball third. But in most games, I will go, yeah, Shield Ball third has higher win rate, but again, it depends on if you need the shield or not. Now, I believe that LDR, in a perfect world, into Shield Ball is the best. And this is the core itemization for Viego. Yes, it is crit. Now, for other builds, like, for example, Titanic Hydra into Sandra Sky, completely fine. You can go for that. You will also succeed. But this is the best itemization for Viego if you want to be a conqueror 1v9 carry as well. I say this again. Trust in me. I have so much experience on it. Beautiful. Okay, as last item, because you also buy boots, of course, as last item, it is again, if you don't need GA, if you don't need Death Sense, if you don't need Randuins or anything like that, you want to go raw damage output. Means Infinity Edge is insane damage output, okay? But in most games you cannot buy it, because in most games when I'm gonna play, I will need GA. It is necessary. Also extremely good for Viego. You transition to you pick up a form, you transition back to Viego, they kill you, insta GA pop. Whilst you got an assist on another one, you can pick up that corpse. Like, there are some tricky things you can do with Viego that is really beautiful. GA, very, very valuable on that. In a lot of games you need Randuins. Again, perfect. In some games, you need Death Sense. Also, if the enemies have a lot of burst and you have a feeling, let's say they have champions like Caitlyn, they can kill you after your GA revives you. They can kill you again pretty easily. Then sometimes Death Sense is just more valuable. If they have a champion that can 100 to 0 you once, but not twice, because their full damage combo is simply not enough to kill you, then they have everything on cool and they don't have more damage output, okay? We take Gragas as an example, okay? Gragas full combos you, one-shots you, okay? Now, when you are on your GA, the moment you revive, he already has his body slam back up. How are you gonna survive that, right? Now, on the other hand, if you survive it with like 50% HP, oh, give me a second, I'm getting a call. Sorry about the call, your mom called me. All right, back to the topic. If you survive it because you have Death Sense instead of the GA and you're very low on HP, you can completely run out onto the fight. Plus, with Death Sense, in most cases in the mid-late game, you are getting at least one reset, and that reset already fully resets Death Sense as well. So you heal all, you get all the HP back. Perfect. That's all about the itemization. The rest, the last item, GA, Infinity, potentially Sandra Sky, potentially Titanic Hydra, potentially Randuins, everything else is like pretty potentially, and yeah. And this repeats. This item build will always be valuable, and even if you're not that smart about itemization, even if you like make most of it wrong, if you have the core item build, and as last item you do what you think is the best, you're already getting very far with it. All right, let's jump into the champion specific strengths and weakness. Very important. With every champion you play, you should cover that in detail. Now, his strengths is he's insanely good at skirmish 2v2, also 3v3, very quick champion. The moment he gets a reset, the fight is basically won. Same with the team fighting later on. Now, he is insanely good with setup. Alistair, Nautilus, also playing against melee champions. This is exactly what Viego wants. Let's say a Nautilus hooks someone, and Viego has time to channel his W. You can imagine that the target will always have big issues. Then, the scaling from Viego is very good, very underestimated. His farming, he gets very easy to 8 CS per minute. Throughout every single elo, he gets to 8 CS per minute. Plus, if you're playing this champion well, his scaling is good because in the mid-late game, if you get one reset, boom, you are a big threat and you can kill everyone and you have an insane damage output. Also, burst is very fine. Good with Viego is that he's decent in everything. His ganking is fine, counter gank is fine, invading, counter invade, the peeling aspect from your carry champions and assassinating enemies, cheesing enemies is all, I mean, this goes in line pretty much, is all very strong with that. It is also his weakness. because he's average on everything, he's not insanely good in the early, mid, or late game stage. We take Pantheon. Pantheon is extraordinarily strong in the early game, right? So you can already see that his strengths here can also be one of his weaknesses. Now, if you do one misplay with Viego, the champion gets really hard. If you miss your ult and enemies flash it, the champion is insta-cooked. So you have to have a very precise gameplay. But I gladly teach you that throughout all my games. Make sure to check out my streams with that, because as you know, I play Viego a lot. Playing from behind is rough, goes for most champions, same with my Belveth. For Master Yi, for example, that is not that big of a problem because you can always insta 1v9. Playing with Viego from behind, not only Viego but the entire team being behind, makes it so hard because you kinda need those fights and get the resets, otherwise you're always average, and average will not help you to carry. The problem also is that he doesn't have that much DPS. I mean, compare it with Master Yi, compare it with Rengar, compare it with Vi. Like, they have some decent DPS output. Viego has his combos, and then he has just a few auto attacks, right? Of course, if he gets champions and possesses some, that he will be very, very dangerous. But without that, he just lacks DPS with that. All right, beautiful. That's everything. And now let's jump right into the next. All right, starting off with the tips and combos. This is very important for me. Now, if you are experienced, you can test yourself now if you're applying all those tips and combos. All right, on a very juicy list. So let's see if you do all of it. All right, first of all, the W is an auto attack reset. Same with Jax W, same with Master Yi W. So auto W, auto. Same with Aatrox E. That means you want to utilize that to get the maximum damage output. Look at my Conqueror stacks. Auto W, auto attack, already 8 Conqueror stacks. Because after I apply my passive, I do a double auto attack. That's also one of the reasons why Kraken is very popular on Viego. Because you pop your Conqueror very often. Also the reason why Conqueror will always be the best rune for Viego. Because you proc it very, very quickly. If you engage, that is completely fine. Like this. But keep in mind that as often as possible in fights you want to auto W, auto attack. Same with when you clear your jungle camps. On jungle camps it's always auto W, auto attack. Alright, beautiful. Now, next is going to be W, auto attack plus Q plus auto attack. Is the very basic engage. Let's say there's a team fight and you walk up to that team. Let's say it's a team fight. Let's say it's early skirmish, okay? And you walk up, usually it's W, auto attack, Q, auto attack. Full combo, Conqueror fully stacked, absolutely beautiful. That's also very basic, you should always utilize that. W with E. Whilst you channel your W, it channels for 3 seconds, so if you're a long time, and the longer you channel the spectrum more, the longer the stun duration is. It goes up from 0.25 up to 1.25. That's why when you only tap it, they are stunned for very long, and if you hold it, they're stunned for longer. But whilst, a few of you probably don't know this, whilst you channel your W, you can also throw your E. It doesn't stop your W. When you use your Q, for example here, I couldn't even use my Q. So try to use your W with your E. At best, behind the wall, you channel it, you go on Fog of War, and then already you can use it fully charged. Beautiful. Now space with your E. A lot of people don't know this, but you can walk very close to dummies without them seeing you. For example here, this guy doesn't even see me. Look how close I stand to him. The radius here is very small. If I walk up a little bit closer, as you can see, it takes a while until he sees me. I need to stand almost in melee range. So you can sneak up on enemies very well with that. And the same is, I want you to use that in the mid late game as pressure. Let's just assume I want to do my chickens here. In the mid lane, there's already almost a team fight happening, right? And the enemies have no vision here. Enemies are in the mid lane. I want to eat a wall here, not this wall, and then I will fight here the chickens and pull them into my attack speed radius here, whilst pressuring with my E. Again, I eat a wall here. So I pressure enemies, because from enemies POV, they don't see anything. And I could stand, as I showed you guys, already here. So they have to be very careful with your E, and you can also use it as a pressure tool. You can use your E whilst you cast your W, we already had that. W-E cast. You get in Fog of War. And you see, this guy doesn't see me, and your W is fully channeled and stuns for 1.25 seconds. You can get a lot of damage output through that and one-shot enemies in the late game. Try to always, like, if you W-E, they see you, and if you E-W as well, like, they will always see you channel the W, because you are out of Fog of War, and then you get back into Fog of War because you're in your E. So what you try to do, let's say this is the enemy, and there's no enemy. Again, you hug the wall, so you are in Fog of War. They don't see you until a very long distance, and then you channel onto them. Okay, for example, you can see here how much you can sneak as well. You can sneak the wall here. This enemy does not track me. Look how close I stand to him. I can legit sneak behind him. Here, it still doesn't see me, none of them. So channel your W in Fog of War so they don't see you. Now this goes even deeper. In the mid-late game, you use your bushes a lot. Means, let's say there's a fight, right? And I want to participate in the fight. I don't just E and then channel my W, but I E, walk into the bush, channel my W in the Fog of War, and then walk outside of the Fog of War in my E, where I'm still in Fog of War. Now that's very cheesy. I will show you. I eat a wall, he doesn't see me. He still doesn't see me, he thinks I'm still here. Channel my W, still Fog of War, still Fog of War. And then jump at him with fully W charge. Okay, let's get to our late game one-shot combo. I bought some items for that, so I can showcase it a little bit better. Now, again, when this is, we assume an enemy ADC, he doesn't respect the E too much. He will just be like, okay, that's scary. There's could be a Viego, right? But if you channel your W again in the bush and you insta flash on them, with flash it's very easy, you have a 1.25 second stun in which you do auto attack, Q, auto attack, ult. And that is a lot of damage output. So he doesn't see you, you stay in Fog of War. Boom. 3000 damage, just like that, you know? And now imagine it's an ADC. And imagine I don't have 2 items, but LDR and shield bow as well. We imagine it, okay? So you can already think about how much damage output Viego can apply. And enemies don't respect it. Now, you can do this combo, especially when they are half HP, on enemy mid laner, maybe even on enemy support. And now imagine you pick up the ADC before the fight even started, and now your team has 2 ADCs. You can space insanely well. You can use all the abilities. You do this to an half HP All-Star. Boom, W flash, auto attack, Q, auto attack, ult, auto attack. He just explodes, you pick up all this stuff, fight already won. So flash is really valuable for that, and you should know this one-shot combo. It is not that hard to pull off, right? You W, flash, auto attack, Q, auto attack, ult, auto attack. It is doable to find, okay? Next. Your ult is your biggest engage and disengage tool. You have to use it very carefully. Now, respect flashes. That is your biggest counter. Flashes, counter Viego ult insanely hard. Okay, I will explain. Let's say this is an enemy ADC and he's 1 HP. And I just use my ult. You see, the cast time is actually pretty long. If this is we assume a Tristana, okay? Tristana just flashes your ult. You ult here, 1 HP Tristana, Tristana flashes out. Now, you cannot... We imagine you have used all your abilities, right? Like this. And then you ult. Now everything is on cooldown. I have everything set on 0 cooldown, so we don't see that, but you can imagine it. Now Tristana flashed out, and now you are in the middle of the fight without ult. And it's very easy for enemies to find an engage on you, Skarner, All-Star, Nautilus, whatever it is, any mid laner, to use their abilities, Ari Charm, onto you. Through that, Viego pops. Usually he dies. But if you do have still ult, even if an All-Star, okay, I misclicked here a bit, lol. Even if an All-Star is trying to flash combo you, you can still channel your ult. That means we assume All-Star is flash comboing you, or Nautilus is flash ulting or queuing you. You can always run to the wall. Okay, this is getting a bit annoying with this speed game. Okay, you can still ult over the wall and you're out. You can ult over this wall, it's disengaged so quickly with your ult. So your ult is pretty useful. If the enemies are stunned though, the chance they dodge your ult is precisely 0. Because they're stunned. They cannot dodge. That's why you want to use your ult either when the kill is guaranteed, when you know they don't have flash or any dash, or when they're stunned. Use this tip because I can highly assume if you're a Viego player that has played already, let's say 100 plus games, you probably had a lot of deaths through that, me included, but I learned from my mistakes. This is how we all improve. Beautiful. Now, Viego is cute. This is just a little bit of a fun fact. Gets faster with more text speed. The more text speed you buy, and I can show you real quick here. If I go to base and I buy a lot of attack speed, you see my Q. Just look at on the animation, okay? And now I sell everything. Okay, my Q is similarly fast. I'm already level 18, right? So I already have a decent amount of attack speed. If I buy now a lot of attack speed, I mean, this is just a little bit of a fun fact, right? Attack speed, and I just buy all these attack speed items, right? You see how fast my Q goes? Like it goes off way quicker. It's just a little bit of fun fact. It does change a little bit, you know, but I mean, in the late game, getting these Q offs like insta pop is just very, very deadly, right? But it doesn't change too much of the gameplay itself. Okay, to possess someone, you need to auto-attack them. Okay, let's just say this is a corpse. A soul that I will possess. To possess the soul, I need to do an auto-attack, always. That means if you have a build where you mainly have damage, so we take the main build here, Kraken or Trinity, Collector, then we have Immortal Shield Ball and LDR, right? You need to do an auto attack, but you see every auto attack has a cooldown, and the cooldown is your attack speed always. Okay, and so if you kill someone and your auto attack is on cooldown, you take time to possess the champion. That means whenever you kill someone, you should kill them at best with, let's say, your Q or your ult, so you can immediately do the auto attack and immediately possess. Especially when there's in the middle of the team fight and you want to kill like get the All-Star or Skarner, Nautilus, like Rel, probably the best champions to possess in the first place. I could also make a tier list of what is the best champions to possess. That's also pretty funny thinking about it, right? You insta want to use their abilities and get their tankiness. And you can only do that if you possess them immediately. And for that, you need to have an auto attack. Okay, when you possess someone, it takes 2 seconds until you can use your ult. So you pick up someone to switch back to Viego form. It takes 2 seconds before you are allowed to use your ult. Otherwise, it would be straight up too broken, right? So at best, you have abilities where you are able to get the full combos off and then switch back to Viego form. That means if you pick up Kha'Zix, you wait up a little bit before jumping in, so you can switch back to Viego form. If you pick up Kha'Zix, insta jump in, you still have a short window where you cannot ult back get to Viego form. If you pick up a corpse and possess a champion, you will have the champion for 10 seconds, which is a very long period of time, also very strong. Another fun fact, if you pick up a champion, you will have also additional movement speed as the possessed form towards enemies. Let's go. All right, let's get into the review aspect. I always love to watch the highest ranked players on each champion. We have here a complete high challenger game. This guy is rank 1, Galio's rank 1, everyone is full challenger. The reason I show this is just from my coaching perspective, the small things that this guy applies also when he farms and how he goes for ganks. You can try to take away as much as possible. 113 considered as, some would say, the best Viego on the entire server. Also just reached rank 1 on the EU West server recently. Very interesting to view. Also, when I want to improve my Viego, always try to look at him, look at the Korean Viego players, look at my own VODs. This is what all of you guys should do. He does a very chill wolf start. You can start wolves or chickens. You can also start red buff or blue buff, but because Viego has very good AoE damage on those camps, I would highly recommend to start either chickens or wolves. I would recommend in low MMR to always start chickens into Crux into red buff and then topside camps. Let's pause here for a second, because if you start chickens and crux give you more XP and gold than wolves and grump. On the other hand, what you can also do, both is completely fine and up to you, is always path to bot. Means you start blue buff on blue side and chickens on red side. No, here, wolves on blue side and chickens on red side. And then after wolves, you go grump into blue, you path to bot, you go for a play, and if there's no play, scuttle into wolves into grump again, and then you have your first reset. He looks if there's a gank, he goes for crux, he doesn't find a gank, he only goes for a gank if it's of course very likely that he finds a gank, he wants to avoid the scuttle. And keep in mind that 113, again considered as one of the best Viego players in the entire world. Minute 4, he didn't find a gank yet. Of course, bot lane he was considering it. Here, for example, he should have not a W charged, but auto attack W auto attacked. I also do that myself that I charge it. Could have done that like a tiny bit faster here. He got Hardbound X. Hardbound X is 1.2k gold. Nothing else but 2 long swords and 2 daggers worth of stats. He does his camps again. Very simple. You see he even waits his camps. Same situation again here. He did charge the W. Now he looks for a gank because now all his job is done. With Viego, you always want to, number 1, first do your farming. Once that is finished, you want to second go for the gank, or we call it opportunity. You see, he looks out. He only looks out because the gank, the farming part is already finished. Viego is very decent and good at that. Very underrated. Okay, very insanely well played. I would have not channeled my W here because of the minions, and he smites the minions away with fully channeled W. Does not pick up the core key because with his auto attack Q he gets more damage output. He waits until last second to pick up the core key, so then he has most value, but he waited too long and did not even pick him up. But was also a very interesting idea. Also for me, you can like smite the minions. He got his level 6. Tries to keep, like, he does like waste his time here. I wouldn't be staying there too long. On the other hand, he does get like the cookie some CS. Stays there a bit too long. It's a bit too risky because they could die. Yeah, and all of them die. And he gets pinged. You see, like, even being rank 1 player on the EOS server, you make mistakes and you get pinged. Now, I do not know what is happening in this game. Never watched it. I'm just viewing it the first time. So I don't know what happens in advance. If I make a call and I say I wouldn't do this, and then it turns out to be correct or wrong, you see what I thought in that moment. You see, he knows Kindred is coming, and Viego can right now still stat check Kindred because he has more items than her. Also, he takes a look at that. He's below in CS. Already very tricky position. There's a mid lane fight against Vladi. Again, Galio is the current rank 1 player. He doesn't see how he contests that. Also, respects numbers, which is one of the biggest fundamentals. All the fundamentals in the jungle, he knows and applies. His numbers disadvantage, so he doesn't go for the play. I would not go for the drag. I would just do my bot side camps. I also wouldn't go for the invade. Very interesting what he's about to do. He does try to kill Vladi here. Very impressive. I would not have done that. I would have simply done chickens wrap buff Crux because that's how you want to play with Viego. And then with the pressure, I get bot lane and Kale. Okay, she doesn't have ult. Maybe potentially play for the dragon. I don't think he's like confident in that because enemies probably contested also. Yeah, and if you want to learn all the fundamentals that 113 that I apply all the time, make sure to check out the complete climbing course in the description. It is the best coaching that I can offer. Very interesting. Okay, he goes now for the play. Channels his W, misses his W. Does front to back with Viego. Also, look what he does. He tries to get his reset. That's very important. Sees he's outnumbered, so immediately dips. Important is he get his reset, okay? We have Kindred ult. Dies as well. It's not that easy. So far, the game looks very rough. Also, what Viego struggles at. Playing from behind then. But the advantage he has is his entire team is not that far behind. Look at LeBlanc, CS. Still is like even. Viego needs just to have the chance to get the shutdowns from already looking really hard because Kindred, technically speaking, has also more DPS output. Malphite also makes it really hard. Again, this is a skirmish that Viego wants. He wants to have these skirmishes. Now he has his first reset. Let's see how he plays with it. On the CC, he uses his Q. Okay, cleanse it. But also, I would not have ulted immediately, but okay, interesting. Picks up the core key, goes down to the Galio. You see, he wants to use his form as much as possible. Goes to the next fight, his numbers disadvantage, tries to immediately respect it. Again, to the fundamentals on the complete climbing course on the website, there's also one entire lesson for free. You can check it out, the Jungle Kingdom. But he doesn't go for, like, he is now a little bit behind his ass, but keep in mind, he has 4 kills. He also goes for Trinity. Keep in mind, Kraken and Trinity is both completely fine. He does clear his camps and then goes to his chickens. Goes for a mid lane play. Also, I don't see something here myself, but he tries to find something. I would do it differently. I would go for wrap buff into Crux and then go this way. Like in this kind of gameplay, I just don't see the reason for enemies to keep sieging. So enemies only die if they do a mistake, and I never play in the way of hope. If he finds a reset, though, he's nice. Big shutdown reset on the rank 1 player. Notice how he immediately uses his combos, tries to get his next reset through. Okay, if he knew he's getting Shen ulted, that would have been the perfect engage possible. But as you can see, like, Viego is not that easy to pull off, yet extremely rewarding. Now imagine an AI plays Viego and does every click perfectly. Imagine he notices the Shen ult comes and then insta ult engage. Like, you're able to destroy the enemies. One of the reasons I really love playing this champion is of the possibilities the champions have. Because if you take a champion like Malzahar, there's not that many possibilities, but Viego, like, every small move and a click matters, and it can change the entire game. Okay, 6 kills. He tries to cross map, means enemies use their resources on bot side. So he wants to use the resources top side. Kill the Malphite, get the tower, maybe even siege the next tower. And if they walk all the way up to defend, enemies invest a lot of resources to defend that. Very well played. Picks up the Desperate Nasus, picks up the Herald, gets the drive-by kill and the crash. They want to keep sieging because they know the enemies are not here. They want to finish the tower probably. They cannot. I would have done the same here. Also get into a tricky position. Look at the damage from Viego here. Insta jumps over the wall, eats the Nautilus, jumps back over the wall and ults. Oh my god. Okay. I would have played it very similarly. Really beautiful to see. Again, we can clearly tell the possibilities this champion has, right? I'm actually, like, sometimes I'm amazed with how strong this champion can be. And it makes so much fun for me to see that, because I'm like, wow, he can do that. And I play him now thousands of games. And I'm like, what? He can do that, you know? I think you probably know what I mean. If you're a Viego player, and you know what I mean. Goes for counter ganks once all his camps are down. Do not go for invades. Before that, again, Viego's very fast at clearing his camps, and then you want to go for the play. Keep in mind, especially the lower MMRs you are, you want to break the game down in simple concepts. Means fundamentals, means champion-specific strengths and weakness, means you farm first all your camps, and then you go for a play, at best, with setup. That's it. Notice how he uses exactly the trick I explained earlier in the combos, tips and tricks. How he, like, stands on the edge and immediately goes to melee. I would walk in this bush, now channel my W, walk back in here, and then, okay, doesn't work right now, but I would probably, like, clear this ward, then I would check up this bush, eat a wall, W in the bush, and try to find an engage here. Let's see what he does. I have no idea. This is just what I would do. Hey, walks back into the bush so far. Challenges W in Fog of War. Exactly what I would have done. Immediately ults because he knows he's gonna die if the Galio W pops. Gets Kale ult. Very insane, otherwise he's dead. Gets Shen W. It's not enough. What I take away from that, if I was him, on the reviewing aspect, we just do not want to be the first targets to fight. Imagine we have an engage from LeBlanc or Senna before. Oh, they almost finish! What the fuck? They are ending. Kindred ult. The enemies just need to focus Nexus. 4-man taunt from Shen. Oh my god, they could have ended the game on the spot there. Okay, 10 kills Viego, very dangerous. They insta go for Atakan. The DOS is also a pretty tilter, but it's for sure, like, broke enemies mental a bit. They have to defend. They need to wait until Inhib respawns. They need to stay close to the Inhib now. Because he's trying to find a cheese here. But I would stay more in base. Like, I think he's too far out. I wouldn't say this is good right now. I mean, I wouldn't do that, right? But he maybe sees something I don't. He goes for, like, sneaky catches. Very interesting how he plays that. But enemies, the good thing here about, like, cheesing here is the enemies don't have a mid lane wave yet. And we have a ward, so they cannot just backdoor that easily, right? Plus we have, like, vision on them. Hey, Galio goes for an engage. If Viego finds the first reset, it looks insanely good for him. Oh! I didn't know that we will instantly see the combos I talk about. Challenge is W. You remember when I showed you the dummy here, how you hack the wall. Perfect engage with the flash. W fully starts. She CC'd, and now ult while she CC'd. He CC'd. You see it here. Spectre mod CC'd. Already dead in the CC. Now Kayle ult. And already got it. Already, the fight is already won. And this is also when I'm like, okay, Viego is just beautiful. Tries to chase them down. Now they have more time to scale. Insta gets caught. But I think I would have died there as well, looking at it. Because you kind of need to get more catches, to get more time. Barrel, like, the inhib matters, the towers respawn, Kayle is scaled. I think the reason they win is because Desperate Nace is scaled. And Desperate Nace is absolutely scary as fuck with his Kayle. Because I think Kayle is broken, he's the best Kayle in the world. Like, that is also kinda scary. Insane position for Viego. Viego just needs the first reset. Notice how patient he is. 99% of all Viego players are not that patient. They would fight. Look how he stands so far behind because of Kindred ult. He knows he can't get his reset yet. Kindred ult out. He did not engage. Most players would. He tries to go the long raid. I would eat a wall here. I don't know why he probably tried to eat a wall, and then W again here on the edge where you go invisible. Tries to find an engage. Did not hit it. Okay, Kayle has a perfect position to engage. Needs to get just first reset. Very close. He almost dies. Okay, Kayle is just... Now he has his... Oh, GG. And that's like... The moment he has his reset, GG. Fight is won. We go Baron, GG. Unplayable. They go for more fights. I think this is pretty solid. They try to get one more catch, but the goal is probably just to get Baron and then just reset, right? But I want to play for Dragon. But Dragon doesn't matter, right? Dragon doesn't matter. What matters is that we play through Kayle and win for her. Like, the goal here is to just keep mid lane priority, fight. With Kayle we play. Enemies can't really split push. And notice how he uses his E now to pressure. Exactly what we explained. Gets Kayle ult. First reset, GG. Oh! That was so clean. He has GA. Look what he does. He gets the first reset. Almost dies. Look what he does. Flash out, ult back in. Pop GA, and then pick up Galio. Kayle died. But it's enough to end. Insane kill on Kindred. Oh my god, this is so frustrating that the enemies didn't end. Alright, beautiful. But still... For me as well, a few things to take away. Interesting game. And now I'm also going to show how I play Viego. Again, reviewing always makes you improve. Because you just start to reflect more. Let's go. Jumping now into the game. We're playing on my main account. 1000 LP plus. Basically Challenger Elo. We're playing here with full Challenger players. For example, here we have Hansama, LEC player as well. This guy is also extremely good. A very good ADC player. We have Lance, the Ivern OTP. Okay, I'm gonna concentrate and also explain my thoughts. But since we're playing on my main account, I don't want to smurf right now. I rather want to give you the highest possible gameplay I can offer. Here I'm just covering this entrance and also warding here to cover the other entrance. My reset is too late. You should reset at best at around second 57. Later than that, you will not be perfectly in time. I want to start chickens. I always want to start chickens with Viego. Again, chickens cracks more XP and gold. And I'll try to copy paste my clear as well. Hit all of them with my Q. Only focus the big one. I got filled mid lane this game, but Annie gave me jungle. We wanna save our smite here. Use W just to get close to the rapper. W again. Always W to just be faster. We're gonna put 2 points in Q here. Faster clear. We don't need our E yet. Hans has 10 CS. So did his bot side camps, then Crux wrap up, and then he ganked top lane. No, he did this. He covered. No, he took his entire top side camps, and his bot side camps are already marked. Now he's resetting and taking his bot side camps. And I'm gonna try to keep snowballing top side. Ivern could be here too. Ivern is here now. I have 2 smites. I'll take my chickens and then topside scuttle probably. I can't defend topside scuttle. That's a quarter longsword back. Very rare angle. I have to be very quick, otherwise he invades my wolves as well. Ivan's still top. I don't want to communicate more because I still want Aatrox to snowball and play his game. Insta my smite because I have 2 smites. I cannot dive bot top lane. If I dive bot then I just can't. I'm level 5, I don't have flash. This minion should not have seen me. Ivern should be bot side. I can also explain more in detail my thoughts and what I do and why Ivern has to be bot side, but I cannot do that on my challenge account. I mean, I'm legit playing with the best players in the entire world. I have to concentrate. I cannot do more. She didn't know that I got my level up. I'm gonna freeze this. Nice, we got a freeze in. So the wave doesn't crash. I'm gonna go Kraken. You see, my team also communicates really well. Ivern bot side, very nice, can win. I don't want to give Ivern a reset timer. Bot scuttle spawns in 10, but I don't have vision on enemy support. So I cannot fight bot scuttle. I don't like this. I don't know where enemy support is still. That was, how long was my CC chain? That was a 4.90 seconds crowd control. That was surely balanced. 4.9 seconds crowd control. We also did not have any help there. That's a problem when mid lane dies, we lose full control over the map and I need to give my entire bot side camps and I can't help bot lane. Everything gets insta cooked if one player is like not performing, right? But it's not his fault, you know, it's autofilled. Pretty rough. I should have not checked the wrap buff. I should just give everything. The moment any dies, I give everything. That's how I should have played. Didn't do dragon yet. We got this, we got this. And important is you just learn from your mistakes, you know? If I review this game, next time I'm just gonna play it differently. I'm gonna buy my item here. Ivern is, by the way, a really good pick against Viego, because Viego doesn't really have anything to stop the Ivern. That's very fortunate for the Ivern one trick to get to face me. Okay? They have full control over bot side. I need to give the dragon as well. I tried to do a like a map split. A cross map play, we call that. But it's really hard because Annie has full control over mid lane. I can try to dive on Bessa. That's what I'm gonna do. I have my boots now. I'm gonna walk around it. Notice how I use exactly the combo I always talk about. We try to get full tower here because we have 3 Gravis. Play for our strong side. Check if red buff is up, probably down. Yeah, I'm resetting. Crux spawn, but I don't have time for that. Ivern is already in position. It's gonna be a fabulous Mercs game. I'm gonna buy Mercs and Collector. That will be a big spike for me. I need to carry this game. Ivern is also top set, but we win 2v2, even though me not having flash and ult. That's just me knowing, just my experience. Ivern is not here. On Viego I have fast attack speed. Enemy chickens are up. I still can't play my bot side. I need to give everything again. It's gonna be really hard because they have Hansama and Hansama is also fed, right? Big shutdown. You saw my Kraken damage? Insane, by the way. Very well played from... Ah, fuck. He could have killed Leona, maybe. Did you see my Kraken damage? With Trinity, I would have never killed the Ivern there. And we also got his flash. He was surprised by my Kraken damage output. That's something I really love about Kraken. Is that I have, like, basically always a surprise damage. Because who is, like, calculating when your Kraken procs, right? Who is calculating that? You do have a big advantage with that. My wrap-up could be down, but my Crux and Chickens should be up. I have 5 kills. I carry this. I should be. Okay, Crux are also down, but they're spawning. I need to be in a carry position. But I'm not gonna type anything. Because if I type no, I carry, I don't think it helps, you know? Because everyone knows they have to hyper-focus right now. And it's not a guarantee. Holy shit, their CC chains are crazy, by the way. Merc's gonna go so hard. Could be good. I don't know. Aatrox TP got cancelled. That is so sad. I was like thinking, where's Aatrox? But his TP got cancelled. Yeah, it's really hard to win a fight when they have legit Leona and Ivern. That's so much team fighting. I could have also played it mechanically a little bit better. I'm trying to play Herald and Gift Dragon here. Oh my god. That was so insanely close. I can't believe my Collector just didn't kill him. If I got the shotgun there, we insta-turned the game around. I can't believe. Wow. Hansama really well played from him. Nice. We got the 1000 gold shotgun. Hansama does a great job. I'm gonna try to defend this tower. So he has flash. Could be... Ah, Leona's such a cancer champ for Viego. So sad. No way, man. This is so sad. I don't kill them here. But I could not even have done more because I just can't. Like, what is Viego really hard as well? Like, I can't get more gap. Like, I can't close out faster. I should have stayed longer in the Ivern form. If I stay longer in the Ivern form, wait my second E and front to back Leona and then ult the Leona and insta-focus her, not the Zoe, that would have been the best. That's so sad. But I got another shutdown. We're gonna play through Aatrox. And we got a lot of shutdown. We also got Magi's from Zoe. Oh, we didn't. But we need... Yeah. That's also a little bit problem. Because of that, she also had so much movement speed, by the way. Because she had more than 10 Magi's there. Insta consume. I just smited him. If I get that smite off, he's cancelled into that. I like the call that to chase him. That was so close. That was so close. Probably shield ball's better here. Yeah, probably shield ball's better here. That was so close. I think if I'm 100% locked in, I kill the Ivern here. I'm gonna win against Hansama. I'm gonna beat him. We should play mid lane prio and let Aatrox split. He also has TP. Nice, they're not on it. Nice. Ivern used ult. We're sieging and pressuring. Notice how I channeled my W in Fog of War, but they saw me. We go Atakan. Look at my damage, just because I got full crit. Notice how I stopped. The portal with my smite. Dragon and then bot scuttle. Let's go, we can win, we can win. Stay focused, stay focused. Need to be careful. Take the control here. W reset on the control as well. I'm gonna insta reset so I have the same tempo as my team. Look at them, they're already on the map. 1.3. No, I really need the gold. Wait, me? I need the gold for pickaxe. Perfect reset. 1.3. That's enough. We have full prio. They're not allowed to walk up. What is my damage? Holy shit, I one-shot the LeBlanc, the Leona. And with that, we beat Hatsama. Now, ladies, focus. Is it over? It's 15 seconds. Okay, this is how we play Viego. I hope you learned a lot with that. I try my absolute best with these guides. And with that, I wish you a beautiful day. If you want to see more Viego content, again, I'm going to be streaming him a lot, since he's my second most played champion and as you probably can tell, I love the champion. Now, if you want to get better, make sure to message me on Discord for coaching. Check out in the description the complete climbing course for ultimate success. Again, one lesson is for free for you. We got plus 21, I can show you here. And now we're one game away from Challenger again. Okay, now, beautiful. Wish you the best. Goodbye and good luck in your Viego games. Take care.